All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to actually let me if you could mute yours, let's see. Um, all right, if I could have everyone shut off their cameras who's just watching the show for now. What we're going to be doing is today, what I'll be doing is I'll be going over what's called the 7 funnel types. Now, this is going to be the first part of the series of probably about 2 or 3 meetings, maybe even 4 meetings to go over all of these 7. So in these 7 is all the different kind of ways that you can get your funnels working and the types of funnels you can make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show. I made a little slideshow in Canva of exactly what we're going to be going over. So these are all the different types of funnels that we'll be going over in our 7 different funnel types. Now, on the 7 funnel types, hold on just a second. Actually, I want to make sure that I can see all the comments and all the information. There we go. So before I get started on that, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of explain a little bit more about how I came to start investing in funnels and learning about funnels. Funnels have become a big part of my life because of what I used to do had nothing to do with funnels. What I used to do back in the day is I actually was just a straight web designer. I used to build websites for clients all across the world. And I even worked for companies like AOL and so forth. I started in this business just building websites, but not understanding the real sales process of what goes into making a website sell. So traditionally, a traditional website just has your traditional pages. So if I go, I'm just trying to think of any kind of service-based website. Like if I just go online and I look up something like dentist near me, and I go to any dentist website. So, by the way, the reason I'm showing you this is because it just will show you all the different, how many people don't employ these type of tactics. This is just a website. It asks me right off the bat, there's no offer here. We've got a couple nice people smiling, and we've got some drop-down menus of all their information. This is actually a really pretty, nice-looking website. This is a dentist near my home, but all of their offers are down here, not front and center. The way a funnel works is a funnel is a very specific way of selling a certain product so that a person will complete a sale. So on these kind of websites, you kind of don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to look in. Do I look at their services? Do I look at the people who are there, the different financial options? It's a smorgasbord. Instead of, if we were running an ad to this website, there's a good chance that a person would land here and not convert and not schedule an appointment or not make a phone call. So what we're doing with a funnel is we're making a very specific sales passage, a very specific way of working with the sale. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an example of how I was in a live funnel before the internet was really a thing. Way back in history in 1992. I'm old. I just turned 49 last week. I used to work at a tuxedo shop. Now, in that tuxedo shop, I would go to school because I was still in high school, and I would hand out cards with coupons. And in those coupons, I would have 10%. I would have free shoes. You could get free shoes if you came into my tuxedo shop. And that was the kind of like the beginning of my funnel. That would be what would be called a lead magnet. I would give out these coupons for free shoes, and then people would come in during the evening and start renting their tuxedos. Now they would rent their tuxedos, and as they came in, I would start showing them all the different options. And they knew because it was on the card that there was a $50 tuxedo. So they would come in and they would think they're getting a $50 tuxedo. Well, of course, the $50 tuxedo was the simplest tuxedo. So while I had them in my store, I'm upgrading them all the time. I'm getting them a better suit. I'm asking them if they're what their girlfriend's dress is going to be, so we can maybe match the cummerbund or upgrade them to a vest. And then when it came to the free shoes, which they had a coupon for, I would of course show them the free shoes, and if they wanted that, I would give it to them. But they were the worst shoes that were there, and we would often upgrade them to maybe a little something slicker. So all of a sudden, their $50 tuxedo is now a $200 tuxedo with all the accoutrement. And I've also given them cards and information for limousines or where to get the bouquet. And of course, I would get paid for every one of those. So that was like a real life funnel. Well, this kind of stuff is done online all the time. And just to show you again, all of those things that I mentioned through my little story there are the things that I kind of list out right here as the different kinds of funnels. And I'm going to equate everything that I've done in the past to how you can do that online. Now, the first funnel that we're going to go over, we're going to probably just get through number 1 and number 2 today, are the lead funnel. And the lead funnel is your most simplest funnel. It is where you go from what's called a squeeze page. You're trying to basically squeeze out their email address to delivering whatever they did. Now, oftentimes a lead funnel is something that we're going to give of value for a very low price, oftentimes free, but it's not free. The payment is the email address, and that has value because then after you have that email address, you can nurture them into your other funnels and other campaigns. That's the purpose of a lead magnet squeeze funnel. Excuse me. And here's an example of one of the oldest ones out there. This one was way back in the mid 2000s. This was called the KISS test, and it's a very, very simple funnel. And it is an ethical bribe. You're about to learn the secrets about that most men will never know about women. And this is how to get a woman to give you a kiss. This is definitely one of the oldest funnels out there. And what a person would do is they would fill out their information. They would read this very simple funnel. They put in their information and they would get literally how to approach a woman to get that first kiss. But then at the very bottom, they would have the chance to buy this book, Double Your Dating, which is in a sense another funnel to get a person to buy the digital book, which would be $7 to $10 or something like that. And it's all a way of getting them to buy, to go from something that they got for free to something that they could actually purchase. Now, this is a good example of one that really works because what happens is a person puts their name and email address in here, they get the information, and oftentimes they don't download the book. They don't buy the book. But because we have their email, we can send them follow-up emails to get them to eventually buy the book. And any other programs for, maybe a video series on how to date or anything like that. So that's a really good example. So I'm going to show you guys some other examples of lead magnet funnels. And then I'm actually going to show you one that I've built and how to put that together. So the first one to show you is called, again, this is another book funnel. This is a get the advanced PPC marketing guide in keywords, analyzing 3 million PPC search terms and nearly 5,500 home seller leads to find the 800 highest profit motivating seller keywords. So this is just a report that a person probably made for their own business that they're now selling. They would normally charge something like that. This is the ethical bribe. And then from there, the person fills out to get that free guide. And then they have a video, which eventually would lead to a webinar. But this is how they can get all those emails and build that list. It's an extremely efficient way, an inexpensive way to get a lot of people to buy, or excuse me, to give you their information so you can build your list, because your list is the most important part of your business. By the way, a lot of this stuff that I learned when I was originally building out websites, I joined what's called Two Comma Club with ClickFunnels under Russell Brunson. This is where I learned all this stuff. So I want to give a lot of credit there. This is not something that I just invented. This is something that has been around for a very, very long time. And in that long time, we have seen people remake this same kind of funnel. And I learned that from a lot of the greatest marketers out there. And that's one of the ones who was our teacher. And actually, that's actually where Nuno and I met, and then eventually started our own agency together. So here's another example of what I'm talking about. This is from Digital Marketer, Ryan Deiss, who's another one of those great marketers out there who I did also get the pleasure to meet. And this is the 10-minute social media audit. This is a tool that you can get, and you just fill out the form, and then they deliver that social media audit. And that is the exact way that it works. It gets a person from filling out the form, getting the thing that they asked for. If you can see in the green, it says that you can download it, and then getting them into the next funnel. Here's another example. Little Black Book of Billionaire Secrets. Person, it's a free report. Person puts in an email. It's very simple, very clean. And then it delivers it to them and eventually gets them on their email list to get into the next funnel. So how and why would you use this funnel? You're going to use it to capture emails for follow-ups. Typically, it takes 7, I think it's actually more now. It could be anywhere from 9 to 15 touches in order to get a person to convert, in order for them to become a customer. So not only are we capturing their email address, we're making sure that we stay in contact with them, sending them videos, sending them to emails, having them take a look at our Instagram, our Facebook, all these things in order for them to eventually become a client. And this is kind of the beginning of that through the lead magnet. Now, you're going to use this to acquire new leads and foster relationships with them. So this is the start of the journey. So while essentially they're getting something for free, this gives you your audience. This is what builds your audience. And you'll be able to develop that audience, asking them questions about what they want to eventually have a product launch. Something I'm going over with in my audience right now, if you're a part of our VIP group, and by the way, if anyone wants to join our VIP group, is where we help with all things high level and marketing and online features for you to come in and have someone kind of over the shoulder helping you in any way that you can. I'm having those people, I'm asking them what they want, what do they require, so that I can develop a course for them. So kind of, you can see it all started though with a lead magnet. Either they saw me on YouTube, or they saw us on Facebook, or they saw one of our ads and they entered into our world, probably started with a lead magnet, either a free course or a free download, and eventually upgraded to the VIP program. Now, what are the things that you can give away with your lead magnet? It could be a free report. It could be a free training video, possibly coupons, a chapter of a book if you have a book coming out, a checklist, a shopping guide. There are people who will even send out like free canning guides or recipes. My wife is going to be doing a cooking channel, a cooking course soon, and she's going to give away free recipes, just as an example. What are some of the best practices of those lead magnets? Well, the lead magnet generally is going to be your simplest funnel. That's why it's number 1. It's the easiest, but it's really the beginning of the journey. So it doesn't require a lot. It's going to build curiosity for what you do. It's not meant to give the whole picture of your whole business. It's just one little aspect of your business to get people to come in to your funnel and into your world. And what it's going to do is it's going to tell them what you do just by them entering in their email address. And it's going to give them what they ask for. So this is very, very important. This is actually something key. A lot of lead magnets that you go to, when you put in your information, oftentimes when you get to the next page, there's no lead magnet there. You got to wait for it or go through certain hoops. The most important part of a lead magnet is you have to deliver it immediately. The reason you have to deliver it immediately, and not on the page, not on the thank you page, but through an email, is because you want to build that trust that you're going to deliver what you say you're going to deliver. And then finally, it's going to send them to your next funnel or your next offer. Now, what are the things needed on a lead magnet? you're going to need, basically, it's very, very simple. It's going to be your logo, your headline, your copy, your words, and the picture of the lead magnet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of our lead magnets right now. So this is one that we just came up with earlier this week. There's an affiliate program going out right now with a Go High Level. We want to sell more Go High Level. So in order to do that, this kind of enters people into our world. We built out this extremely simple lead magnet. Free 10K checklist, uncover the process that's earned us an additional 10K a month using one software. And I had some basic bullet points. Access step-by-step checklist for quick implementation and fast results, accelerating your income boost. Use a single software tool to unlock new and existing client opportunities, simplifying client expansion and income increases. Learn effective tactics that optimize client interaction and improve retention with ready-to-use pitches included. When a person goes there and they download, they're going to get our 10K process guide. Now, in that 10K process guide, it is chock full of exactly what to say, how to say it to get a new client. It's actually about 11 pages long. It's actually worth something. We normally would sell this. Now, since we're not selling it, we're giving it away. We expect them to do that email address. So when a person clicks this button, it opens up this window and the person fills out this information and they go onto they get their checklist in their email. And the page they go to afterwards is what we want them to upgrade to. We are taking them from the thing they got, from the funnel they have. We're thanking them for downloading their free guide and then saying to them, hey, don't miss out. Those paying customers, through our exclusive 3-day workshop hosted by Frank Kern, create another source of income by building your own software business. I'm taking them from my free offer to something that they actually are paid for, but that relates to the thing that they're actually downloading. Now, after we've done this, there's a whole mechanism in the background for these two very simple pages. We have the lead magnet page. From the lead magnet page, we have them going, this is the thank you page, which then sends them into the other funnel. Now, here's the cool thing. And actually, there's one more thing I want to show you before we go. This is the little video that goes with that. And when they click open this, it goes to our affiliate link at High Level for people to get High Level. Very, very simple. Now, the automation that is tied into this is right here in my lead magnets folder. Let me show you this lead magnets. And then I'm going to show you right here. Now, a person comes into the form, and as they go into the form, we make sure that they go through a certain amount of sequences, making sure if they're unsubscribed or not, making sure that they're a legit person. We assign them to a user. We add contact tags. None of this really matters for what I'm going to say, but we send them right here the email that delivers the actual thing that we promised. But after we've done that, we then send them, and this is a dated thing. As you can see, that this happens in 3 days. So we actually have a little extra bit going on based on the date, but we just start sending them an email sequence to get them, as you can see, day 1, day 2, this would be day 3 and 4 and so forth, in order to get them to hopefully go to the workshop and become a high-level client where we would earn an affiliate commission. Now, what's really cool about this funnel is these are people that if they don't buy, well, that's okay. I can still market to them later because I've built my list. And through using tactics like this, so far we've built a list of close to 6,000 people just through tactics like this. Now, this is only one of my lists. I'm going to show you some more of the lead magnets that we have. Now, I can go on and on about lead magnets because lead magnets are by far one of the most powerful. And you might even see some of the lead magnets that you came in on when you first heard about us. So for instance, we have the high-level checklist. You've probably seen this one before. And this is a cool little thing that Mary and Nuno created. And then I graphically made it, enhanced it. And it talks about all the features. Again, the thing you're going to notice, this is very simple. We have a headline. We have possibly our logo. We have the image of the thing. We tell them what they're going to get. And from there, after they fill that out, they go to the thank you page. And it tells people kind of what to do and how to enter our world. But they're getting that email and we're putting them into the next thing, into the next funnel. And so that one's the checklist. And here's another one, the high-level free courses snapshot. A lot of you came in through this one. We kind of changed the design. You know, we want to freshen up every so often. But, you know, it's, again, a very simple page. What's in it? And there's another thing here. These are all the people that have worked with us before. So a lot of testimonials. And it's basically just a free thing that's worth money. This took us time to develop. We didn't just do it for the fun of it. And we're not just giving away. This is something we actually created. You can see it by our faces on the videos and stuff like that. But that free course snapshot gets people to eventually, they get our emails and they upgrade to what would be our next funnel, which would be either an application funnel or a sales letter funnel or a webinar funnel in order to become an actual paying client. All right, so that is a basic kind of overview of what a lead magnet funnel is. Really powerful, something that a lot of people use to grow their business. The next one I want to show you is called an application funnel. Now, I want to see if I have a person and I'm trying to see if it's cool for me to show their funnel, and it looks like it is. An application funnel is a little bit different. Now, you saw on the lead magnet funnel, this one right here, that we had this page, person fills this out, they fill out the information, and then they go to this page with a video into our next funnel. The application funnel kind of flips it on its head. It starts by flipping it on its head, and it does what's called a reverse squeeze page. Now, the reverse squeeze page is I'm showing you the video first. I'm showing you what I'm about and my headline right off the bat. And I'm offering an offer in that video. Person clicks it. Generally, it's a pop-up. And we get their, nowadays, we would ask for more than just their email address, but we'd ask for their email address and all that information that they can join and learn more about it. And then on the app, then it goes to an application. And on that application page, I would normally have another video saying about what I do, and this is what it takes to work with me, and have them fill out a questionnaire to make sure that they're a good fit. Now, I'm going to show you a version of this right now. So this is a client of ours who at one point he works with gentlemen to try to, get them into better health and stuff like that. He has a video about what he does and how he does it, how he helps clients get a stronger, better body, but he doesn't take every client. They fill out this application. Instead of doing a pop-up on this one, we just went straight into an application. We shortened it up just a little bit. They fill out the application, and he has a ton of testimonials on here about what he does and how he does it and how people love him. And eventually, this is not a funnel he's exactly using right now, but the application would go through. It would send the application to the coach, and then that coach would read through the application, make sure that this person may or may not be a good fit, and then it would email them to get onto his schedule. And then we would have a schedule link where they could schedule their time that they can actually meet with him, and then eventually a payment link and so forth like that. So again, a very cool funnel. That one is called the application funnel. And we can go deeper into that a little later on. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with the first funnel, the lead funnel, how we can actually build it inside of Go High Level. So I'm going to just open up my personal Go High Level account. I use Brighter Idea as a dummy one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use Andy Test. And this is how we can build this really, really fast. The first thing we do, believe it or not, is we don't build the funnel. We build the form. So I would go to the builder. I would add a form. I would start it from scratch. I would call it let's just call it the lead magnet. Let's just call it the 10K checklist, just like I had the other one, 10K checklist form. I want to collect their first name, their last name, their phone number, and their email in order to get this. Now, sometimes if you give them too much information and too much of this, it can be overwhelming. And we don't want it to be overwhelming. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the names and just put the singular full name in here. I still want to get their phone number, but sometimes people, if I'm just building a straight list that I want to email to, I sometimes won't use the phone number. So I'm going to get rid of that. So that means I also don't need to do this text message. I want to have the lowest barrier of entry in order to get people to get on my list. And I'm going to get rid of this information over here too. And I'm going to change this. And I'm going to put, instead of button, instead of submit, I'll put something like get your guide today. Okay, so we have filled out that form. And I'm going to hit save. All right. So now that we've built that out, I'm going to back out of this and I'm going to go into funnels. I'm going to create a new funnel. I'm going to call the 10K checklist. And I'm going to create that funnel. Again, this is purely just to get people on our list, nothing more. I don't want to sell them something extravagant. I don't want them to purchase anything. I just want their juicy contact information so I can market to them later. So I'm going to add a new step. And my first step, okay, is my squeeze page. Now, oftentimes we will write things like squeeze page on here. Personally, I don't want to leave it like that. So I actually change it to what it's going to be. 10K 10K profit process checklist. So it's whatever it is. And it's going to create the path for me on its own. And for all my people who've been watching us for a long time, by just naming it like that, you'll notice that the settings are already in there. It created the paths just based off the name. And this one, because I didn't fill it out, also created the path right here, 10K profit checklist, just as I'm creating the page. It's a very easy and efficient way to get it done. All right, so this is blank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create from blank this page, and I'm going to use everything just right off the shelf and recreate my funnel page. Okay, we're going to let that load for a minute. Sometimes it takes a little while when it's on Zoom, so I'll just hit refresh. I think high level might need a little bit of coffee this morning. And I'm just going to do the first thing is I'm going to drag in my section. I'm going to add a row. I'm going to add a column. After I've added the column, I'm going to add my headline. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit because normally I would have this all built out previous to this. But I would have all my copy on one side from when I wrote it out using one of our bots or a copy I got from a client or something like that. So I'm going to put in my headline. And then I'm going to do another row with two columns. I'm going to put my image on the right side. I'm going to type in image. I'm going to upload that image. Now I would click here and I would do a new upload. And I would upload that image. In this case, since the image has been uploaded in another account, I'm just going to actually use the link to that to make it come in. No need to re-upload it. I'm going to make this a little smaller because my content isn't as big. Okay, there we go. Nice and clean. Maybe I'll even change the dimension of this because I just want enough information or just enough of an image to whet their appetite. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to put in a bulleted list. Now the bulleted list is kind of our featured list. Our why are the reasons that you want to download this thing. So I'm going to put in the bulleted list here, and I'm going to put in all my words. And these words are going to be the things that are the reason people would want this guide. So the first one is access step-by-step checklist for quick implementation and fast results. accelerating your income boost, because the whole point of this is to get the process that earned us $10,000 a month. And then from there, I'm going to have use a single software tool to unlock new and existing client opportunities, simplifying client expansion and income increases. And then finally, learn effective tactics that optimize client interaction and improve retention with ready-to-use pitches included. Now, that's all well and good, but it's kind of all a bunch of words jumbled together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to expand the line height so there's more space to actually read it. Hit return, and now that's a little easier to read, but still not enough. I'm going to now make my check boxes a little bit, let's add a little bit of flavor in here, a little bit of something to make people, for it to pop. So I'm going to go to my icon color, and I'm going to choose green for my icon. There we go. And you can see that those icons have now changed another color. And maybe instead of using the usual checkboxes, I will find something else. And I'll put in checkbox right here. There we go. I put check, and that came right up. So now I have a different kind of checkbox. But if you noticed in the one that I originally had, I had some words highlighted. These are the things that I kind of want people to focus on in each one of these statements in case they're only reading it fast. Remember, people really don't read anymore on the internet. You got to have the words that you care about the most highlighted to get them to quickly do something. So I'm going to highlight words in here, access. So it's step-by-step checklist for quick implementation and faster results accelerating their income boost. So in a sense, this is now just not one checkbox, it's actually two, because you can read the whole thing or you can read just the little thing. We're gonna unlock new and existing client opportunities on this one. And then we're gonna have ready to use pitches included. So they can read the whole thing or just the highlights, which a lot of people do. And because this is so wide and so clean and so simple, I'm actually going to tighten this whole thing up. There we go. And maybe I'll make the words just a little bigger over here. There we go. And I'm gonna just, and you could keep, me, I could keep adjusting this until it's absolutely perfect. But this is basically how it goes. Now I have the lead magnet, and now I got to get them into the funnel. I want to put a button underneath. So I'm going to create another column. I'm going to add an element. I'm going to go here. I'm going to choose a button. And because I have green check marks here, I'm going to change that blue to match. And I'm going to give them a direction in the words of exactly what I want them to do. So I scroll down here, and in the text, I'm going to type in download your 10K profit process checklist. Now I've got to make this thing do something. And actually, I think this is a little too wide, so I'm going to go to advanced. Instead of fill width, I'm going to make it fluid, so it's nice and tight like that. And I can play with this, give it a shadow, do certain things to sauce it up, but this will work for now. And then underneath here, I would put in any information that I would need, privacy policy, anything like that. We're not going to go over that in this tutorial, but just know that I have a pre-written kind of copyright and privacy policy in terms of service that I just put into every single funnel. And I'm just going to drop that in there so that you can see it. And I can color it. I'll probably put my logo in here, any number of things. But now we need to have this button do something. And this button, what we're going to have it do is we're going to have it open a pop-up, which is its default way of working. So up here, we have the pop-up settings. I click on pop-up settings, and I'm going to add a row. And then I'm going to add a column. And from there, I'm going to put my form. So I'm going to type in form, click this, and then I'll select my 10K checklist form. And there's the form that I made originally. But here's the thing. Even though I've made that form, it's not really giving them a direction. And I kind of want to put a little bit of sense of urgency in there. So what I'll do is I'll hit the plus sign again. I'm going to put a headline in here. I'm going to give them a direction of what to do. So in this case, download the 10K profit process. checklist. And I'll size that a little bit up and I'll clean it up a little bit. But then to add some urgency, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a progress bar. Whoop, I think I lost my pop-up. There we go. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to do it with the plus sign, forgive me. And I'll grab that progress bar and I'll put it here. And in here, I'll go to advanced and I'll add kind of like their time is almost running out. And then I'll put in, I'll change the words that are up here. And up here, I will put in, here we go. I will put in last step, ... almost there. Kind of giving a little bit of incentive to keep on going. And maybe I'll change the color to, you know, something a little darker. I'm going to actually see what some of my custom colors here I'll add. Since I'm already green, I'm going to darken that up so it's easier to read the words. Here we go. I'll hit add. Now it's a little easier to read. All right, I could put a shadow on this. I could do a bunch of things. But if I hit save and I hit the eyeball, you'll see that my page is all built out. And if I click here, it gives a sense of urgency. It gets people to fill it out. And now I'm getting their information. So now my lead magnet page is ready to go. After that, I'm going to create my thank you page. So I'll back out of this. I'm going to just clone this funnel step. All right. And from that funnel step, I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to hit change the publishing. I'm going to just call this the 3-day workshop because I want them to go to that 3-day workshop. I'm going to change it here. This one I have to type in. So 3-day workshop. And the reason I cloned it is so I don't have to figure out what my colors are again and figure out what my fonts are or any of that kind of stuff. It's kind of all set up. I just edit what's already there. So I click on edit. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this headline. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another row, put it up here, and I got to let them know what they asked for is on its way. So I'm going to put a small little action item in here, just telling them to rest assured everything is on its way. And I'll probably just make that a little bit lighter, just like that. And underneath it, kind of like as a dividing line, I'm going to put in a divider. And I click there and my divider is now in there. Okay, thank you so much for downloading. Your free guide is on its way to your inbox. But now I want to put them into my next funnel. I'm leading them into the next thing that I want to sell them. So from the copy that I've worked so hard on, I'm going to paste that copy right in here. Don't miss out. And we're going to get paying customers fast. I'm going to highlight this by doing an underline. I'm going to say that there's a 3-day workshop with an underline. And on those, I'm going to change the color to make it pop so that it can be easily seen when people are looking. And it really kind of brings it out, if you know what I mean. Now, from here, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. Actually, I'll just get rid of the whole row. I'm going to put another sub headline here. Drop that in there. I'll put in a little bit more information that I have. This is something I would have already had created. Okay, it's a little sub headline there, and I'm going to put in some text explaining for them to check out my next offer. And I've got a little spiel here that I'm going to put in, and I would, work on this a little bit more, style it up a little bit more, add some spacing and so forth. But what we're doing is, in a sense, we're kind of telling them where to go next. I might make this a little easier to read. I find 14 to be too small, so I generally, the lowest I like to go through is 18. Font size. Again, I'll open this again because I don't like, you see this dangling one word here? Not a fan. So I always like to try to make it so that everything is really easy to read, very simple. There we go. And now I'm going to put in my video. So I'll hit that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a separate row. I would add the element for video. And I would upload my video here. But this video is huge and it's hard to see the button for the next step. And there's a lot of space in here. So I really want to adjust my spacing. I want to bring this up. And I'll bring this one down here. So everything starts lifting up more. I kind of want to eliminate space above this video. So I'm going to get rid of it here. And I'll just keep eliminating space at the top so that I can pull that. So I can pull that up. Now, why am I telling you this? Because then I would also like to take my video. I'd like to be on the row with that. Let me just pull that up. Oop. There we go. I'm on that row. I'm going to add, now that I'm on that row and I've chosen that row, I'm actually going to tighten that row up a little bit. And I have a reason for that. You see, it's going to make the video a little bit smaller. Now, visually, to me, this is very important because it's concentrating people down into the button that I eventually want them to click. So I like to make my video a little smaller than my words in order to kind of make that arrow, to make that funnel down. It's a very simple visual clue, but it is very, very effective. So as you can see, everything is bigger and then steps down into my smaller button. So it's just a little design trick you might use for yourself. And then here, I'm going to tell them what to do. I'll just say, I'm just going to copy the copy that I've already created. This is going to tempt them to come to the webinar I want them to go to. And then this link is going to go to my affiliate link. Okay, and instead of doing the pop-up, we're going to do website URL. I'm going to paste that there. And my funnel, inside of about 10 minutes, is done. I just have to connect it to a domain. And this is done. This is ready to go. The only other thing that I would need to do is now create my workflow, which I showed you earlier. Make sure I've uploaded the document and make sure that they got my workflow and put my emails that I would eventually send to them. But as you can see, that's how we build out the funnel. And it's a very, very simple lead funnel. On the next one, I'll probably build out an application funnel when I have more copy and I have one to actually show you guys. So that concludes exactly what we have for our workshop today for the lead magnet. If you like this content and you like what we're doing here, don't forget to like, subscribe. We do workshops every Friday on exactly how to build something. Everything that we do is not just for show. It's for actually, we're going to build something. It's always going to be constructive. So you can know that every time that you come here, you're going to see something new, something fresh. And I would venture for you to please build with us in the comments, maybe point us and show us what you worked on before. I would love to see it. This is a free class and I'm happy that you came around.